Welcome to the MBP Movie Podcast.
Today is the first edition of our new series, Is It Really That Bad? I have the power! So we're going to talk about Masters of the Universe, which was made in 1987 by Canon Films, that legendary studio that no longer exists. So, do you want to? Have you got any background on the film? Do you want to go for it first? Should we talk about the cartoon first? Do you think?
To be honest, it started with the toy line, didn't it? Not the cartoon. Is that
right?
I
think it was the toy line first. Yeah.
I watched a documentary on Netflix about the toy line, and it was unbelievable what it started as, and it just kept getting bigger and bigger each year.
Yeah.
And then the sort of cartoon came out, and this film actually came out as all the sales were dwindling.
Yeah,
the cartoon had finished.
It's kind of a bit late, wasn't it? Today.
Yeah, I think they actually wanted it to kickstart He-Man again.
Well,
it didn't work.
As a kid, I loved He-Man. As you know, it was my favourite cartoon as a kid, and I wasn't as keen on She-Ra, Princess of Power, but which is coming back. Funnily enough, I think I don't know if it's back already, but it's coming back to Netflix, doing a brand new series of that. But yeah, I just loved it. I mean, the concept of it was amazing to me as a child. I just loved the obsession with swords.
Yeah, I think the masculine men was the kind of thing when you were a kid as well. Yeah, it was all like your action figures.
The funny thing is, though, if you go back and watch the old cartoon now, there's not really any fighting.
No, that is the surprising thing. I've done the same with Thundercats. Gone back and watched that, and you're like, why did I like this?
Yeah. So obviously, you went to the cinema to see the film, didn't you?
Yeah, I went with our cousin Darren. I remember that night.
Right.
And my first memories of this were we got into the cinema, and the first bit I remember seeing is Skeletor walking through the big soundstage they used for Castle Grayskull, and he's smacking his staff on the floor, and every time he hit the floor, it was so loud in the cinema. I jumped. Amazing. I was like, ooh. Oh, like this every time he did it. It was but yeah, it was a really good cinema experience. That's actually the first one I remember as a child.
All right.
Going to see, I don't remember. I know I went to see Pinocchio, but
yeah, I think I was a bit too young to go see Masters of the Universe.
Yeah, I don't remember going to see Pinocchio, but I do remember going to see this.
But first time I saw it was obviously on video when I don't know if his dad's mum bought it. Did they? Or did we get it off his uncle actually?
I have no idea.
I can't remember anyway, but I loved it. I loved it as a kid. I used to watch it constantly.
Yeah.
And I could never understand why there wasn't the second one as a kid. Obviously, as you get older, you realise about box office and things.
Just out of interest, obviously, because the film isn't like the cartoon at all. Did you kind of notice that as a kid? Because I don't remember really thinking about it.
No, I don't really think I thought, but I think I knew, but I don't think it bothered me. I think I just wanted to see He-Man. I used to watch the cartoon. I wanted to see He-Man.
Yeah, I don't remember thinking where's Orko or Bottle Cap. Who were not in this, but
there's a lot of stuff. Well,
I don't remember thinking about
looking back now, I think it's a good job Orko wasn't in it, because I think
it would have looked terrible,
and I think I would have strangled him.
I think as well the reason for that was just the cost.
Yeah,
the cost was
actually somewhat funny about it. I used to have a recurring nightmare as a kid about Karg, which is the little white-haired gremlin.
I heard somebody call him the little girl from The Exorcist, and I could not stop laughing.
Well, I used to have this recurring nightmare where he'd pulled me outside of my bed. It was really freaky. And we used to live in a flat back in the day. That's when I used to
watch too many horror movies.
I didn't then. It scared me though. But yeah, that was a recurring nightmare I had for a few years when we used to live in the flat. Yeah, let's hope it don't come back.
So, do you just want to go out and lights, or do you want to say a bit what the film's about?
Well, the film is about He-Man, isn't it? Protector of... is the place is called Grayskull?
I'd say it's probably more about Skeletor, to be honest.
Well, probably, but a lot of old... it's not a comic book film, but it kind of follows that motif where it's more about the villain than the... Obviously, Skeletor takes over Grayskull, doesn't he? And captures the... what is she called? The Sorceress?
The Sorceress, yeah.
I don't remember this well. Captures the Sorceress, and then he takes over Grayskull. I don't know who thought it was a good idea to have them come to our Earth.
He takes over. I think that was to do with cost.
Probably. Well, and then Canon Films.
I mean, they even did one of the Thor. Is it the first Thor movie?
Yeah.
So that I think that was a cost.
Well, yeah, maybe you're right.
So it's cheaper to do that than create this other world. But I'll probably go into that a bit later. But what they did were Eternia wasn't great in the film, was it? So it looked pretty blonde.
No.
Who'd want to live there?
It much looks like rocks and desert, and then this castle.
It was filmed somewhere in America. I can't remember where it was, but it's somewhere that a lot of films. I think you know that old Star Trek one with
Kirk and fighting in
there's
the
a bit where he picks up a big rock or something. Am I imagining that right?
I don't know.
Anyway, I think
I
it's
Kirk could pick up a big rock, isn't it?
No, but like a
yeah.
Like, not big enough to pick up.
So basically, obviously, He-Man has to get back to Eternia. It's Eternia, that's what it's called, isn't it?
Yeah, well, how it works
Eternia,
is the cosmic key. What happens is he's
Locksmith.
Locksmith.
Yeah,
That's it.
exactly,
That's the word. He makes a cosmic key, and Skeletor steals that, and that's basically how Skeletor takes over Eternia.
And that's how they escape to the Earth.
Yeah, and they escape to Earth. Yeah,
have a bit of what is not in the film called KFC, but they have KFC.
Yeah.
And obviously they have to get back, don't they? But then Skeletor wants the other key, doesn't he?
Yeah, they get that in a cheap way.
And then obviously you get to the final battle, which will
the way He-Man gets back with the other characters is they remember the tune. And that's it's all linked to the music, which
Funny enough, that guy's from Star Trek. He's from Star Trek Voyager.
All right.
And the guy who...
I did know that.
Another thing about this film is it features two of the Gellers from Friends. It's got Monica Geller and the mother Geller. I don't know what her name is.
Yeah, I know that as well. Yeah,
and they even have a scene together, don't they?
Yeah, they do. Yeah.
Years before Friends did it.
So, do you want to get into your likes first?
Yeah, What we'll do is I think we should go back and forth. I won't just give you all mine at once, but I love the opening with the power to be almighty, the power to be master.
I totally agree with next one at first. Well, I'll say it's first thing I wrote. I'm totally lying because it's not even on there. But, I thought I wrote that somewhere.
But
I like the opening where it shows Castle Grayskull and it's a matte painting.
Yeah.
It looks amazing. I love matte paintings. I think they look so much better than using really old CGI. I mean, new CGI, that's a bit different, but I love matte paintings. A lot of the films we like from the 80s have got Running Man.
And you see the sorceress at the beginning, don't you?
Yeah, there's also a bit where she's looking out of the eye of the skull in one point.
I can't remember that bit. I used to have the Castle Grayskull. And in fact, the thing about the film is, although the film is not, it's not exactly what I'd call faithful to the cartoon. Castle Grayskull looks like Castle Grayskull.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah,
it was a little bit of a shame that we didn't see more. But we didn't.
Canon films.
Costs. Which
we'll just keep saying Canon films. Cause that's what it is.
I actually like some of Canon film stuff.
I do,
it's
but
very 80s and
at the same time, they used to cheap out, didn't they? I mean,
they did, yeah.
We'll get to Superman 4 one day.
It cut them out in the end, didn't it? So
yeah, they didn't last. Well, they didn't last.
So that's one of yours. I'll go next. And the music by Bill Conti. I know the theme is basically a rip of Superman.
Even the credits are.
Even the way the credits are done. But that theme is so good, and it's one of those where it's just different enough that he never got in trouble for it. So it's obviously different enough. But I think there's even some sort of Star Warsy themes in there.
Oh yeah, the Star Wars influence all over this film as well.
Yeah, there is.
Yeah.
I'll tell you a bit more about that later. Yeah. But yeah, I thought his score it's really good. And
he did Rocky's movies.
He did, he did Karate Kid as well. Which
did he?
We got another good score. I think I say it a lot on this. Music is massive to me, and I think that's one of the reasons. I always go back to watch this film and think, I'm not going to like it this time, and I still walk away, and I enjoy it.
I think,
although the music has got a lot to do with that.
See, people always say, it rips off Superman and Star Wars, but maybe you should use the word it's paying homage to those films, and basically, like, what is the Ultimate Heroes theme? It's the Superman theme. Yeah. So maybe they thought, He-Man's...
I think so, yeah. I think looking at Canon and we're going about and being cheap, and they thought, well, hang on, mate, this works.
Yeah.
Let's just use this. I even love the Cosmic Key, the tune.
It's brilliant.
Absolutely brilliant.
I love the look of the Cosmic Key. It's very unique, isn't it? Yeah. I don't know how they came up with that.
I don't know how they thought it was a synthesizer in the film. It was a synthesizer.
Well, it makes music.
Like it's good though.
Yeah. I think one thing I'll give credit for the film is the cast Dolph Lundgren, he looks like He-Man.
Yeah.
He just looks like He-Man from the cartoon.
I feel very sorry for Dolph Lundgren because this was his first film, and from what I've heard more recently, he wasn't that fluent in English yet.
Wasn't it his first starring film? He was in Rocky IV before this, wasn't it?
Yeah, sorry, he was, yeah.
It was his first lead, was it? Was this before Red Scorpion, though?
There was something, I don't know if it was a joke, but something I heard about Stallone said, why are you giving him lines or something?
Yeah, I told you that earlier on.
I don't know whether that's true, but
Well, apparently, the guy at Cannon Films told Sylvester Stallone they've hired... I don't know if it's when they was making Over the Top, because they've hired Dolph Lundgren, who were in Rocky IV with, and he's like, you gave that guy lines?
I think like if he did this today, he would do it a lot better. I think his acting's improved. But I even think just by the time he'd done like Dark Angel in, was it 1990?
Yeah, he'd got a lot better by then.
Yeah, he'd improved as an actor, and I feel that. I
mean,
I feel it's a bit harsh on him, to be honest, because his acting does not make me not enjoy the film. Do you know? what I mean?
No. To be honest with you, he don't bother me. I don't watch anything. Oh, he's terrible. I mean, there's some moments where
he's got some lines that are good.
He sounds a bit like an English footballer, John Barnes. He sounds a bit like John Barnes when he talks in some scenes, funnily enough. But I know there were like layers and layers of dubbing, weren't there? I think he did it 3 times or something.
Yeah, I think it was in his contract that he could get 3 goes, and if he got it right by the 3rd, he had to keep it, which is why he isn't dubbed, because they were originally going to dub him.
Would have been a more Flash Gordon situation, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it would. Yeah, I didn't know he would dub for years.
Well, actually, we'll get to that. We'll do a Flash Gordon episode someday, and there's a bit of a story behind it. We'll get to that. I think we can both agree the best thing in the film is Frank Langella as Skeletor.
Yeah, that was going to be my next like. He's superb. Isn't he?
He looks good as well, doesn't he? And from what I've heard, it's still his favourite part he's ever done.
Yeah, I heard that. Yeah, it's his favourite part, but
he's having so much fun.
Yeah, you don't even look. It's a bit like going back to when we were talking last week about Penguin and Catwoman. How you forget the actors, and that I didn't know for years.
Well, I'll be honest with you, I still can't see him under makeup when I watch it.
No, I watch it and I just see Skeletor, but the performance that comes out, I've seen Frank Langella and other stuff, and I know what he sounds like, and he doesn't sound anything like Frank Langella. He just sounds like Skeletor.
Oh, it's so good in it. He just completely steals it. It's like a villain.
Does, yeah.
I think as well, in some ways, he probably deserved a better film because his performance is so good.
Yeah, but it's one of them, isn't it? I think I don't know if it has got a cult following, but I presume this film has.
I'm sure it has. Yeah. I'm not. By that, by the way, I'm not spoiling it. I'm not saying it's bad. I'm just saying a performance like that. It's kind of like Terrence Stamp in Superman 2. The film, he got the film he deserved, and I think maybe Frank Langella maybe deserves something a little bit more. Yeah,
so one of my other likes is Gwildor, which was the replacement for Orko. I know a lot of people probably don't like him, but he makes me laugh, and I really like that.
I'm not a fan.
I know, I like him, makes me laugh.
No, he knows me. It tasted good. It's that bit of
I think it's because when I was a kid and things like that, if I watched it today for the first time, that I'd probably be thinking, oh my god, what is this? But because I watched it and I watched it through the years, I just like it.
You know Man at Arms' daughter, what's she called again?
Teela.
Didn't she remind you of Julia Roberts?
Not really, no.
I think she looks like Julia Roberts in the film.
I've got her down here, Chelsea Field, yeah. No, I think even looking at her on that little picture that I've
Wait a minute, so here we've got John Cypher down as Man at Arms. His real name's Duncan in the film. Does he ever get called Duncan in the film?
I think he might do, you know.
Does he?
Yeah, I think he might get called Duncan. Have you got any more? Because I've just got one more.
Meg Foster. I absolutely love Meg Foster. I think she's got...
Evelyn.
Yeah. I think she's got the most amazing eyes in the world I've ever seen.
Yeah. I think she looks scary. And I think I'm being intimidated by her when I'm a kid.
And she's like a good number 2 to Frank Langella's Skeletor.
I think so, yeah. And I kind of like that chemistry between them where it's almost like they're a couple, but you don't trust her because you got the feeling she could turn him. Did she in the cartoon actually turn him a few times?
I don't remember. I can't remember. I haven't seen it for that many years. But another thing I've just thought of is the like creature makeup's really good.
Yeah, well, one of the things I can't remember what it's called. Is it down there?
Well, there's Beastman, isn't there?
Beastman looks really good.
Blade.
Who's the guy that they kill off really quickly?
That's Blade, isn't it?
No.
Is it not Blade?
No, the lizardy thing.
I thought that was Blade.
I can't see him on the. No.
Oh, Blade's the guy with the swords in it.
Yeah.
Oh.
Is it the Saurod written down there? Or is that the guy with the white hair?
No, that's Karg.
Alright, so maybe it's Saurod. I don't. Anyway.
It sounds like it might be right.
The lizard thing, they spent money on... Well, I presume they spent money on it, but his neck bulges like he's breathing. And then he gets killed off really early in the film. I thought...
Maybe that's why Maybe that's why.
I do have a little story behind that, though. Evidently that came from Mattel. And I'll just go into this now because I might as well say it. But Mattel would not let He-Man kill anybody. And also, and I'll go into that a bit because it's on my dislikes. It was also nobody was allowed to die who was a main character, so they invented these other characters, and he was one of them, so they could kill him off.
Fair enough.
So Skeletor can actually kill him off.
I like that scene anyway. So
Yeah, but I just wonder why they spent all that money with all that makeup. He's got a great suit on as well.
Yeah,
His neck's bulging. You think, well, you run out of money. Why did you spend all that on a character you were going to kill off?
I think the effects in the film look fine to me.
There's a lot of lasers and there's electricity again, which we always say. I mean,
but even the hoverboard things don't look
what
too
year
bad
is
to
this
me.
film, actually?
87, is it? 88? Something like that.
I'm not actually sure.
I think it's 87. I think it's 87.
But yeah, an 80s movie with electricity. I love that effect.
Which is on the telly.
Yeah, we should have done,
yeah. Like I say as well, and the flying around I quite like that scene. I quite like when Skeletor and that come to Earth and all the...
Yeah, well...
reminds me of Star Wars.
Yeah, there's the only bit that looks a bit hokey is the bit where you see them actually flying around, and obviously they couldn't really do this.
But it's like green screen, isn't
but
it?
it's on it. It's just that that sort of green screen and stuff. That didn't. It
Don't
never
bother
looked.
me.
It never looked good in the 80s.
No.
No, it don't bother me either. So I just have one more. Like, if you haven't got any more.
The final battle, which is not... I know there's a story behind. I know a good story behind this, but I just always liked I always loved it when I was a kid when they did the "I have the power" scene.
Yeah.
Right, that bit as a kid, I used to love that scene, and then I always just thought the fight was really good. I know there was a budget cut, and that's why it's filmed the way it's filmed. But I liked it.
Well, I didn't know quite.
I don't really know why they put him in gold though.
no, kind of where it cut, but evidently when they strike the sword and the staff and it goes black, that's actually part of that does happen.
Right.
And it wasn't that bit where they stopped. There's an initial bit, and it's more the end.
But didn't Mattel have to put some money in to finish it off? Something like that.
Yeah, because I don't think Canon put any money in the end, did they? I think
they must have put some in
because
Well, apparently they supposedly pulled a lot of the Superman 4 budget to put into this film, so they must have put some money into it.
They were in big trouble. If any of these films would have been a hit, Superman 4, Master Universe, and there was another one.
But you think about it...
Over the Top with Sylvester Stallone. If any of them had been a hit, they'd have been alright, Karen.
But they would have thought, right, with Superman, they thought, right, he's already a viable name, we could probably... If we make it good and put the money in, we'll make the money back. But it's like they didn't think like that. And Master Universe, again, it's such a viable product. Why?
I think the problem with this is they changed it so much from the cartoon.
Yeah, it was completely different.
Alienated.
I'm not sure the cartoon would work as a film, in all honesty. I'm really not convinced.
But I think it alienated the He-Man fans. Because I think us as a kid we loved He-Man, but it wasn't.
We didn't really care, did we?
No.
So, you got one more like?
One more like, and I think this is one of the best things I've ever seen in a film. It's the throne room, the set. It's absolutely immense.
I'm a huge fan of sets.
And evidently that was two sound stages, but they pushed them both together. So they are one. Right. So it's one massive sound. And I think it was one of the biggest ever made at that time or something.
Do you know something I always thought about? You know, you went about...
I wonder where the money went.
Skeletor walking with the staff. Yeah. Going down there. I always used to think, like, those pits at the side always look bottomless, didn't they? And in the film, I used to freak me out.
A lot of map.
I always used to think, what if you fall off the side and stuff?
Yeah, that's a lot of map paintings. I'll go into something because I haven't written it down on my trivia bit. Do you know there was a kid won a competition for this?
No.
A kid won a competition to be in the film, and it's because you were mentioning walking with the staff, which reminded me through the throne room. But they got to the end at shooting, so there's a bit where he takes his staff off a really little. He's actually a little kid, and they call it. His only credits as Pig Boy. And if you watch him, he obviously don't know when to let go. And he pulls it, and the kid goes like that.
Oh, really?
So if you watch it again,
you thought they were done a reshoot, wouldn't you, for that?
Yeah, no, but that was how he ended up being in it. But they got to a point where they were off Earth, so they couldn't. They were like, where do we put him into I don't know if it's just a mask over his face.
Yeah,
but it's called Pig Boy.
I'll look out for that then next time I watch it. Yeah,
it's interesting. So on to dislikes.
I really don't like the subplot with Courtney Cox's character. What's Courtney Cox's character called? Julie. Yeah, Julie and Kevin. I think it's...
yeah, I've heard that. From
it kind of just takes me away from what... You watch the film to watch He-Man fight Skeletor and all the Eternia characters, and then you kind of spend too much time with these Earth people.
Yeah.
And I just didn't like it. For me, it wasn't really...
I know what you mean. It didn't really bother me. Just shut that door.
And I always hated the end when the film ended, and then... It was about her saving a parent. I mean, I know it had to be there, but then it was like...
I don't think it's never really bothered me, but I can understand why it would bother people.
Yeah, I just never liked that subplot and the whole thing with
I don't like watching it so much now when she falls for her mother still being alive.
Oh, God.
Seriously? And they also get her to take 2 steps back till she views Evelyn. You just be looking up like, oh my god, it's not you. She takes 2 steps back, then looks at them.
See, if I hugged her and she turned into Meg Foster, I'd probably be like, oh.
Give her a bigger hug.
Yeah.
So that was one of yours. One of mine is the fight scene on Eternia at the beginning with the Stormtrooper looking things. And I'll just go into that so I don't forget. The Stormtroopers, this was because Mattel, like I said earlier, wouldn't allow He-Man to kill somebody. So I didn't know this, but they're actually meant to be robots.
I thought so. They've got little red dot things going across
and
their eyes.
I just thought that was just a funny helmet. But also, whenever they get hit by a laser beam, there's loads of sparks. And as a kid, probably going through into a teenager, I never really thought about it. But yeah, they're meant to be robots, so he's not actually killing something that's real life. I
forgot about one of my likes. I love.
But sorry, I didn't go back to going back to the dislike that I was originally saying. The fight scene. It was definitely one of the last fight scenes they did. So He-Man strikes his sword like that, and then it's like, do you know, like there's some bits at the end where it's quite close to He-Man, but it's even closer, and it looks a mess. It's an absolute
really noticed that.
It's an editing mess. You just like quick cuts to.
I assume they didn't have much to work with.
Yeah, probably not. No, it's not very good.
In my likes, I forgot about the detective from Back to the Future.
Oh yeah, I thought you were going to mention.
I absolutely love him.
Yeah,
and I always used to like the bit where he fired the shotgun on Eternia.
James Tolkien, he plays Detective Lubick in it.
When he fires the shotgun on Eternia, I used to love that bit. I can't remember what his line is though. He's got a really good line there as well. But he's like a staple 80s guy, isn't he?
To be honest, I've only ever seen him play the same part in Back to the Future, and this is the same part, basically.
Sorry, anyway, but going back to dislikes,
I really like him. Did you have another one?
What does the Earth stuff to me? I just like, I don't know, I want a fan of Gwildor, to be honest. It kind of annoyed me. It wasn't as annoying as our current cartoon, but
he'll never be as bad as Jar Jar Binks. So.
No, well, who will? Yeah, I was never a big fan of Gwildor.
He never bothers me. I think he's got some lines that make me laugh. And
he does. He has some funny lines.
There's a line that he mentions.
What is he? What is it?
I don't really know. But there's a line where he mentions he remembers when we didn't need to lock doors, and I kind of think as a locksmith that must have been a terrible time for him. But yeah. So my last dislike is just Skeletor's speech and it's not his speech, but when he's having that speech to Eternia, you look out at Eternia and there's literally about 5 people. And I'm like,
I always liked that though. It was the hologram. I quite liked that.
Well, I don't know if it's this scene or another scene where it shows you Eternity, but I got it pointed out to me last night in Oliver Harper's retrospective. If you haven't seen that, go watch it, it's great. And he points out that one of the scenes he's just flipped, and I'd never noticed until he mentioned it.
Ah.
And it's literally, you see him marching somebody down that side of the Stormtroopers, and then they march him down, and I'm like, oh yeah, that is the same scene.
I love how He-Man just happens to be in a great position to see it as well, like on that cliff.
It's fantastic. But yeah, that was the only thing for me. I think Eternia as a whole could have been done a lot better, and I kind of feel like maybe if they'd have spent a bit less on that soundstage, didn't need to be as good as it was. I don't think. Would they have had something?
Could they have spent more time on it?
I just think, God, if you'd have asked how many people to be an extra just loitering around there, they'd have done it. Maybe they didn't have enough Stormtrooper outfits. I don't know, but yeah, I think they could have done that a bit better. But
another scene I was never a massive fan of was it was Back on Earth again, where they were at like the school disco thing. I never used to like that scene. It used to scare me a bit as a kid. It was a bit like something.
I think you always get that. There's scenes that you don't like when you're younger, and it continues.
Yeah, I never used to like that scene. And then is that the bit where she gets her leg hurt? Or is that later on?
That's later on when they're on the rooftop. 2 things for you there: the school nearly burnt it down, and that rooftop where they stood on that collapsed into something like an earthquake years later, so it's not there anymore.
Oh gosh!
So it's kind of a bit of. I've actually not got any more dislikes of you.
I've got one more, and it's the bit where they put the collar on Kevin and he's telling him that. I just never liked it. I don't know what it was. His voice used to annoy me on it.
It's kind of a bit weird as well.
It's a bit strange. Yeah.
I've just wrote down some thoughts, but I think we've mentioned about Skeletor becoming the main focal point.
And gold Skeletor's gold outfit, I didn't like that.
There's something freaky about that. I mean, his mouth. I
like when it goes grey. It looks cool when it goes grey, but when it's gold, it's like, why do you think it looks worse?
One of the other things I wrote down was when they get transported back to the throne room, the Castle Grayskull, and half that pink car's there.
Yeah,
that always makes me smile. I'm always like, it's just
brilliant. I like that too.
I think Skeletor's death as well, it's very reminiscent of the Emperor, because we were saying it's a bit like Star Wars, weren't we?
And he's screaming, his mouth's not even open, is it?
No, it's not. No.
Do you know something that always bugged me? And it don't bug me, it's a great scene. I waited they did it before Marvel, all the way to the end credits, and he says, "I'll be back." And he never came back.
Yeah, I know, that's a shame.
Although Canon were going to make a sequel, weren't they?
Which became Van Damme's Cyborg. Movie I quite like.
But they were going to I think it would have been awful. They were going to recast Dolph Lundgren. Probably would have recast Frank Langella.
The guy they showed you, though, didn't look anything like the size of Dolph Lundgren. He looked a lot smaller.
He looked smaller, but he was blonde hair, wasn't he, mostly?
Yeah.
That was basically.
I mean, I always think something like this, maybe it's a good job it didn't get a sequel.
Yeah, maybe so. And obviously it didn't do very well, did it?
No.
So,
well, I think the thing is, if Mattel wanted it to bring back the toys, then why didn't they make it with more of the characters in from the series?
this kind of almost reminds me of like him, Saber making that Power Rangers movie a couple of years ago, and they didn't really like push it enough. I mean, I don't know if it was them or the studio that made it, but it's like
it's kind of like, what's the point in making it?
Yeah, and that's not that's not a bad film at all. That film, I just quite like it, but it's like you've done all this effort to make this film, and then you're not pushing it. And Canon sort of did that with this, didn't they? They didn't.
Definitely.
And I'm pretty sure I heard a story about them pulling it from cinemas, didn't? Or they didn't put it. Wait, cinemas wouldn't take it.
No, they had a problem because I think what it is I don't know if it's the same now, but studios use their other films as like a buying chip, like Avengers: Infinity War, for example, for Marvel. If it was back then, I don't know. Like I said, I don't know if it's the same now, but they would have gone right. We want you to show this. We'll give you this if you keep showing. So they didn't have any bargaining to us because they're gone. They've gotten.
Well, I heard they owed money to the cinemas, didn't they?
And I don't know, but I know He-Man basically only got matinee showings, so I think it's box office, which I'll tell you about in a minute. It's not really worth looking into because you can't judge it.
So maybe if the film had a wider release, maybe it would have done.
I think it would have it'd have certainly made its.
So again, this is Canon's own fault, isn't it? Really?
Yeah.
When you get down to it.
But while we're on that, might as well move on to box office. So I think it had a $17 million budget originally, because I heard this on something. But I've got it at a $22 million budget, and I think it went over budget. So I think that's where that comes from.
That's probably where they got the money off Superman for.
Right, and the gross was only $17.3 million. That's in America. There's no worldwide.
Is there not?
Figures? They were never.
Well, maybe it didn't get released worldwide in cinemas.
I've absolutely no idea.
Well, you saw it.
I saw it in UK,
that's
so
true, yeah.
Don't know. Maybe they did. And yeah, that's all I've got for box office. Trivia. I think I might have covered most of this, to be honest. Canon obviously were struggling, but they were hoping He-Man was going to bring back funds so they could make a second one, and Spider-Man, and the guy who was going to direct it was going to do both at the same time.
And I think that might have been Joe Zito, who did Red Scorpion.
Sounds familiar.
He did Friday the 13th final chapter, and he did Red Scorpion.
I don't know, but I think the fact that the guy went, all right, you haven't got a lot of money, let's do them at the same time, showed the guy knew what he was doing.
Yeah.
And they're going to use the same sets as well.
Yeah,
if you want to see any of those sets, check out Van Damme's Cyborg, because those sets were used for that.
It's kind of weird how Cyborg is Master of the Universe too, in a sense.
Did you also know that Gary Goddard, the director, did you know he did theatre before, actually?
I think I have actually seen the Canon Films documentary, that fantastic documentary,
right.
And he was on that, and I can't quite remember what.
Yeah, he did.
Some of the stuff he said.
I can't remember what it was he directed. He directed something. I think it was Conan, the stage play of Conan. I think.
Oh, really?
And I think that kind of why he tied in with He-Man. They were like, but yeah, this was his first film, and I think if you look on his IMDb, I think it was his last film as well.
Oh, really?
I don't actually think he did a bad job on the film.
No.
And you know Anthony De Longis, and apologise if I butchered his name, who plays Blade. He's actually the guy. He was a stunt double for Skeletor, so he's the guy who Dolph Lundgren's fighting at the end.
Oh, right. Yeah. Oh, that's kind of interesting. That they do that a lot in films, don't they? Give him parts and stuff. So
yeah, I just thought it was really interesting.
Dougie used to have a figure of him.
Yeah, I remember when I was younger, Blade's quite a cool character in this.
Yeah.
I just like swords, and we both like swords, didn't we?
Yeah.
So that's all I've got.
So I guess the question is it really as bad as people make out?
Not for me. It's definitely a guilty pleasure for me. I kind of spoiled it a bit earlier on in the podcast when I said I still go back and I really enjoy watching it. I think a lot of that has got to do with the music, and I think there is that nostalgia thing there. There's no doubt about that. I think if I watch this now, I'm not saying that I'm not going to like it because I like watching sort of a B sci-fi movie. I think this is very much a B sci-fi movie.
And of course, your son watched it, and did he like it?
Yeah, he loved it. Yeah, he thought it was great.
That's what you want, don't you?
Exactly. So, how about for you?
The problem is I can't look at it without nostalgia goggles because I've always
I'm
loved
the
it.
same, but
I still love it.
Yeah.
It's one of them films. I mean, I think parts do bother me now more than they did as a kid. Some bits where I think that's not good filmmaking or whatever, or that's like a boring scene. But
I tell you one thing they did actually when you were on about the filmmaking that I found out last night. Some of the camera movements, they tried to do more camera movements to make it feel like a bigger film, and I think they did that perfectly in that case. Because it does feel like, because if you look at how many people are on the screen at the time, even when there's the stormtroopers, there's not that many people.
It's almost like a small film with a large budget, a large budget feel. Sorry.
Yeah, no, I'd agree with you because, and I think a lot of that is to do with the camera movements. I think
so I still love it. I can see its faults, so I'm not blind to its faults. But I think because I can't undo seeing it as a kid. I can't tell you if it's bad or good, really.
Yeah, I think if you were going into today's an adult, I think most adults would not enjoy this movie.
Probably not. No.
If you like B sci-fi movies, like I do later on night, I'd recommend.
If we're off my wife, she'd like, what the hell's this?
Yeah, exactly. I don't think my wife really enjoys it. She just likes.
So I guess really our answers are kind of in the middle because we're saying if you were a fan of it as a child, you'd probably still be a fan of it. But if you're not a fan of it, if you see it now fresh, you're probably not going to like it. So. I guess we're kind of in the middle in a sense,
possibly, yeah. I definitely love watching
I actually can't wait to show my son it when he's older, to see what his reaction is to it.
See if he likes it. See if he likes the Star Wars and Superman vibe, along with a bit of He-Man.
So what do you think of it? Leave a comment on YouTube. You can also email us any questions and you can tell us what you think of the film at marshallbrosproductions@gmail.com, and you can tweet us at MBP Movie Pod. I think that's us, isn't it?
Yeah.
Good night.
Till next time.